Classroom management is half the job when we're teaching young learners, and sometimes it can be a real challenge. Before we get into it, let me state the obvious, which is that young learners need repetition and they need habits and they need consistency. So, ideally, if you'll have the same class for a whole year, you would want to do this exercise straight away and you will want to set expectations at the beginning so that they can get used to it, so that they know. If that's not the case, and for one reason or the other it didn't happen and you're struggling, you can still try this exercise, which hopefully will help. Talking openly about behavior and expectations make things easier along the way. Okay, so rules. Make it into a whole class activity. Depending on the level of your students, if you also want to focus on language, you could use modals. You have to, you should, you can't, you can, and so on. If not, we're still doing this. It's still an activity in English, they're still using the language, they're communicating a lot, and we're setting expectations. It's a win-win-win-win. So, instead of coming to class and being like, okay, here's my list, here's are the rules that you need to respect, otherwise there are consequences. Make them part of the decision making, make them part of the process. So before you walk into class, think about typical situations that bother you, behavior that's inappropriate, and use them as starting point. Don't overdo it. Don't walk into class with like 10 different things. So, for example, it can be your students speak on top of each other. Another one could be that they shout out the answer instead of raising their hand. One can be they get up without asking for permission. You go to class, you tell them, okay, we're going to look at different situations and what we can do about them. Since we're dealing with young learners, you can include pictures, images, illustrations. This is helpful. And then all together, or you can put students into small groups. You ask them to suggest an appropriate response. So, what's happening in the image? The student is just walking around. Do we think that's okay? Not really. What can we do about it? And instead of telling students, you should always ask for permission, they will tell you that. Okay, great, cool, let's write it down. And you go on and on for the different behaviors. Now, the reason why this works well is because they have responsibility now and they decided the appropriate behavior. So, next time, if someone shouts, they're breaking their own rules, not yours. So, they will want to respect them more, ideally, hopefully. And then, out of these, you can have them create posters to put around the class. This is good. One, as a reminder. Two, to have language in English on the walls, which is always a good thing. And three, because it's there, you can simply point at it when students do not behave the way they're supposed to. And a gentle reminder should be enough. Now, obviously, students are different. Some students are more complicated than others. So this is not foolproof. I can't tell you that it will 100% always work, but I will tell you that it will increase your chances for success. If the behavior is repeated, I would suggest you talk to management. And if even management can't do anything about it, they might sit down with the student and trying to have a talk. I know I did it in the past when I was managing a summer camp. Next step would probably be management would call the parents because obviously there's a bigger problem there. I was never in that situation, and setting rules was always successful and enough to have a good classroom environment. Now, obviously, another important thing is that you need to respect the rules as well. In the sense, if students are misbehaving and they're not raising their hand or they're not asking for permission to get up, you need to point it out. If you pick and choose when to point it out, you're sending a signal that it's not that important. And then some students will also feel like you're picking on them. Oh, why are you telling me? He did the same before. Nothing happened to him. And the student would be right. So be consistent, include students in the process of setting rules, so giving them responsibility, and be strict but also nurturing. I hope this was helpful. Bye.